So we were talking about thesis statements the other day. So I just thought it might be an idea to do a little clip on what is a thesis statement and what it's not, what the goal of a thesis statement is, and how to go about writing one. So this is just a little mini lesson on how to do that. So moving along, a thesis statement is simply a statement that outlines your main point, telling the reader what your position is. So it doesn't get much more complex than that. What are you trying to say in your essay, in your article, whatever you're writing? What is the main point you want your reader to come away with? It's a statement that outlines that, no more, no less. And so a little bit more detail on the next slide there. So what it should and shouldn't look like, it should be clear. So there's no vagueness in there at all. It should be, the reader should be able to read it, or you, if you're doing a presentation, once you read it out loud, your audience knows exactly what your point is, and it should be to the point. You're not waffling on. It's not, while some thesis statements can be two sentences maybe, that particularly at a high school level, no. One single statement that that is to the point. What are you going to be arguing? So no waffle in there. It then becomes a reference point for your whole piece. The rest of what you're writing comes back to that. So sorry for that interruption. So should be to the point. There should be a reference point for your whole piece. Once you've written your thesis statement, that is something you can come back to for each paragraph. Is each paragraph there building upon that reference, that statement that you've made earlier? The other thing you want there is it should be specific. So general statements are not good thesis statements, and we'll get into that, what that means exactly in a slide or two. So where does it go? The vast majority of the time it goes into your introductory paragraph. There are a couple of exceptions to that. There are other ways to go about it, but for the majority of the time, the vast majority of the time, it's in your introductory paragraph. That might look a bit different, particularly if you're doing a feature article or something, but there's still somewhere in there is an introductory paragraph, and that is where your thesis statement goes. It then becomes a launching pad, as I mentioned a moment ago. It becomes a launching pad for the rest of your writing. It's that reference point that you come back to. What is my position on this? Okay, that is what I'm writing. Am I proving that point by writing this? Moving along. So we're going to look at a thesis statement here. Now, I've borrowed these straight off another site, and I've credited the site on the next page there. So this one is, there are serious objections to today's horror movies. So that is a statement. It is to the point. However, it's incredibly general. What are the objections would be the first question. And there's more to go with that. So it's not a good thesis statement. It's unclear what the argument will actually be about. Excuse me. And so we'll look at how that can be changed on the next slide. So here we've got three. Because modern cinematic techniques have allowed filmmakers to get more graphic, horror flicks have desensitized young American viewers to violence. That is a clear statement. It's lost the vague nature of that one. Today's horror student, why is that an issue? Because modern cinematic techniques have allowed filmmakers to get more graphic horror flicks, have desensitized young American viewers to violence. Now, it's irrelevant whether you agree with that or not. That is a clear statement. The pornographic violence in bloodbath slasher movies degrades both men and women. Again, it's still on the horror, it's still outlining the problem, that we've got that why there, and that's the crucial element. Today's slasher movies fail to deliver the emotional catharsis that 1930s horror films did. So these three are much better as they're specific. It's clear what this essay, this argument is going to be about. By being that specific in your thesis statement, it also makes the rest of your work easy to write. So if we go back to that one, there's serious objections to today horror movies. You could go anywhere, and there's three directions right there you could have gone. However, if you're looking at these three here, it is very clear what you're going to talk about, and therefore it makes it much easier for you to go on and write your essay or whatever it might be. So, developing a thesis statement. When you were little, when you first started writing essays, you were taught to write something along these lines. This essay will. This essay will show that modern horror movies do not offer the catharsis of the 1930s films. And that's fine. The purpose of that is not so much for the reader. The purpose of that is for you, so you have that clarity in your thesis, in what you're going to be arguing about. That was fine then, and if you are someone who still struggles, or I'm designing this for my 10, 11, 12s. If you are a younger writer, year 7, 8, 9, maybe you still use that. But I'm going to show you how you can use that and then drop it out. But of course, in order to be clear about something, we need to have something to talk about. So we're developing the idea. So I'm going to use an idea that one of my students was talking to me about the other day for something she was writing. And so there is the idea that women deserve to be paid equally, or we'll change it, to be paid the same as men. All right, so that's a statement, and it's got some clarity there. We can see the point. And so what we could argue, if thinking back to what I was just saying about this essay will, what we'd have to do is go, this essay will show that women deserve to be paid the same as men, full stop. So of course then we can just drop that out and go back to the original. Women deserve to be paid the same as men. All right. So there's an idea. So of course, to even get to the idea, you've done some research, you've done some reading, you've got a task in mind that you have to complete, and so you've found some evidence that shows that argument, that shows that women should be paid the same as men, and rightfully so, of course. So there's our basic idea, but then of course to make that good thesis statement, that clear. And as we're looking back here, this specific thesis statement, we need to do more than that. So we might argue that we'll do the same thing as we're doing before. This essay will prove that we'll make it a positive. I was going to go negative. That women should be paid the same as men because they do job. Now, that is better. Is it good? No, I don't like it. I'm not happy with it. But that's fine. That is giving some more direction. Okay. And so of course then we might just go get rid of that, bang, bang. And for you, if you're writing your thesis statement for an essay and you need that clarity, I encourage you to do exactly what I just did there. Have that in there. Have this essay will do whatever to prove, show, whatever you might like there. But have it there ready to go. So we'll try it again. This essay will argue that women disadvantaged, could spell, that'd be good, by unequal pay during their working careers less financially secure in retirement. All right, so that's longer. It doesn't necessarily make it better. What makes it better is that I've been very clear when I'm talking about what I'm talking about. It's doing more, it's building on that basic idea that women should be paid the same men. This now shows why that is an issue and gives me something that I could work with. I could use my evidence to build that argument. And of course, I've left out an R there that I'll put in now. I can now get rid of that. Women that are disadvantaged by unequal pay during their working careers are less financially secure in retirement than men. And so just that little editing I'm doing there shows again why you should play well read over your stuff. So guys, I hope that gives you some clarity about how to go about building a statement. Your statement, and when you start your research, your general idea might be women deserve to be paid the same as men. Your research should then be looking to why that's so. So you might then develop it. So, well, they're doing the same job. Well, what's then the effect of this? And that's where I've come to with that end statement. That's very much a statement you could base an essay off, or a feature article, or whatever you're writing. So, excuse the little interruption that was there in the middle. But there's a basic little lesson on how to write a thesis statement. I'll catch you later. Bye.